Okay, I think I've got everything off now.
You're good. Hello, Yvonne Ortega. Welcome to another edition of Local Legislator Live. This is a raw interview that we're doing today with the incomparable, the magnificent, the one and only Yvonne Ortega, who describes herself as an author, a coach, a speaker, and an all around good woman. I can attest to myself. Good day, Yvonne.
Well, good morning to you. With an introduction like that, my goodness, we might be well done.
Not quite, not quite. But I want to let our listening audience who we are and what we're doing. This is locallegislator.net, where our mission is to be the premier source of local election information in the United States and an advocate for the sustainability of local businesses nationwide. I am your host, Charles Gates, and joining me this morning again is the one and only Yvonne Ortega. Good morning, Yvonne, and let's jump right to this. First of all, let me ask you, what circumstances led you to become the entrepreneur, coach, and speaker you are today?
It was a jolt of reality. My son passed away unexpectedly after what was supposed to be routine laser surgery. And he had an allergic reaction to a medication he was given, went into cardiac arrest, and died immediately. He always said, one day when I retire, I'll, and fill in the blanks, what he was going to do. One day when I retire, Mama, I'm going to buy you a house. None of that came to pass. And I thought about it and I said, I'm not guaranteed tomorrow either. 6 months later, I left my full-time counseling job, which I loved. But I went in the direction of that dream, the dream that says, I will become a full-time speaker and author and coach. I will encourage others with the encouragement I've received.
Wow, that is quite inspiring, Yvonne, indeed. And sorry about hearing about your son. Now, your theme is moving from broken to beautiful. Share with us the story behind the words.
The story is that when you are broken, like the death of an only child, that came shortly after Mother's Day, and Mama had died 3 days or 3 before Mother's Day. I was broken. I felt I was shattered in a million pieces, but I knew I couldn't stay there. Mama and my child would want me to move forward. They would want me to make something beautiful of my life. And all I could think of is a mosaic. I take something, it hits the floor and shatters. It comes back together. All the pieces are there and it's beautiful.
Oh, that is quite inspiring indeed. Now, Yvonne, you have written 4 books. Can you share with our listeners, because I know there's people out there right now who have this book writing thing in their head saying, wow, you know what, I need to get it out, I need to get out, but I don't know how to go about it. Could you share with us the book writing process and where do you find that inspiration and passion to do so?
The book writing process is long. It is painful. I will be the first to admit it. You either sit down and write or stand up and write or alternate between the two, but you don't move until it's done. And it might take 1,000 rewrites to get that first chapter down, to get it right. And in the process, you need to learn a whole lot about self-editing. And that's why I teach the course, Self-Editing Like a Pro.
Now, self-editing, what exactly do you mean by that?
You need to know what the industry considers a standard. Some people write and say, well, I got it done. I'm going to go ahead and self-publish it and I'm done. It depends on what you want, Charles. And I know that you are always, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We're going first class. We're going over the top, or we're not going at all. So I went to writing classes. I got a writing mentor. I did everything I could think of so that I could learn to write to industry standards. And even though I'm doubly certified as a Spanish and English teacher, there is a difference between writing for the classroom, that thesis, that term paper, and writing to industry standards in publishing.
That is so interesting. From an industry standard perspective and the things you just shared with us, I know personally, I know many authors who, if I go to their garages right now, there are boxes and boxes and boxes of books that they've written a while ago that they just cannot sell, they can't distribute for whatever reason. Perhaps their writing wasn't up to industry standards is one of those reasons why they're still sitting around.
That is a big reason. And I know 3 people who told me they wrote a book in conjunction with someone else. They were co-authors. And in some cases where somebody wrote only a chapter, they are a contributing author, not a co-author. And what ended up happening is that they assumed that when they put it in Kindle or wherever they put it, that it would be corrected.
Mm,
And
wow.
unless you pay for that service, you don't get it. And unless you pay for marketing and publicity, you don't get it. So it takes a lot of work to be out there and be your own advocate, even publishing for a traditional house, unless you're the president or the late Mother Teresa, you don't get that marketing and publicity. The budget is very small. So you get out there and you do it.
So you're saying that if you have that name recognition, that could also help you out.
Absolutely.
Well, you are Yvonne Ortega, so your name alone carries weight. You're also a coach, Yvonne. Share with us what do you offer as a coach? And I'm assuming you're not a baseball or softball coach. What do
Oh,
you
no.
offer? I'm a former softball coach, so I could talk about that. But your type of coaching, what do you offer, and how does that process work?
I offer encouragement, support, and accountability. It's like our Toastmasters where we offer criticism, but we sandwich it in. We start with what they did right, and then we go to that next level. This is what you could improve upon. And then we go back and we finish with, these are the things that you did right. And for most people, I would say 99.9% of the population, we need accountability. We need someone who's going to say, when we meet next week or in 2 weeks, whatever we've decided upon, you will have your first chapter finished.
To almost hold your feet to the fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that would take away procrastination from a lot of people.
Right, because we can sit there and say, well, we need to clean off our desk and we need to go to the grocery store and we need a haircut. And the story goes on. Actually, the excuses go on and on. But if we say, oh, Yvonne is waiting for me and she's going to ask me what I did and what I improved after she made suggestions. I'll have to show her online when we do the share screen.
hmm So you're like their accountability partner.
Right.
hmm
I will hold their hand, but as said, I will hold them to the fire.
Okay, good stuff. Now, I also understand you are a nationally recognized speaker. Now, how does that work? Do you go to them or do they come to you? What exactly, how does that look?
When I first started speaking, I worked through Stonecroft, and they set up all the different schedules by states, and they asked me which states I wanted to work in. And I said I would take the East Coast. And so they would call me and invite me. And I would say, let me look at my calendar. If there's an opening, I'll take it. If not, we may need to reschedule. And in some cases where it was much too far, and I can think of one case where I was supposed to speak, I think like 6 times in 2 days. And there was travel in between every single one of those engagements. And I thought, I have energy, but I'm not Wonder Woman. I didn't take that one.
Wow.
And after 5 years with that organization, I knew that 4th year that my time was drawing to a close because I had other books on my heart. And I
And
needed to write.
now, when you, as a published author, that also allowed you more speaking opportunities as well, hasn't it?
Yes, it certainly did. And when things were live, I could schedule book tours and schedule speaking engagements, and I would speak for all types of events.
Hmm.
Since the first book was on cancer, I did speak on cancer. The next book was Moving from Broken to Beautiful, 9 life lessons to help you move forward, because people wanted to know how I moved forward, why I didn't stay stuck as a victim. I said, I want to be victorious.
Hmm. Now, from a live perspective, you mentioned the fact that you did do this when we were live. How has the pandemic affected the speaking industry?
All my engagements were canceled. As far as a book tour I had planned with a friend of mine, we were going to go up and down the East Coast. That didn't happen. We couldn't do that. Then the stores closed, and many have folded during this time. Even some publishing houses have folded, or they have gone under the wing of a larger general market publishing house, and they have what's called the faith-based division.
So it's been devastating.
It was definitely devastating, and that's why NSA started a program to help us switch to virtual. And in NSA Virginia, yay. Our chapter has a virtual coffee every Wednesday morning. What did you do this past week? What do you need help on? Show us.
So it's an accountability and a support system.
A
Now you
wonderful one.
now you mentioned NSA. For the listeners out there that don't know what that is a National Speakers Association. And also, let me ask you, Yvonne, between the NSA and Toastmasters, because that's where you and I met through
Right.
Toastmasters, how has that helped you along your journey? Have you gained more confidence in sharing your story through both of those different entities?
Charles, the biggest thing that happened is that for 3 of the 4 books, I wrote them chapter by chapter after I wrote speeches. And I presented them at Toastmasters. And when I had a speaking engagement in Atlanta, I practiced that speech, and I went to 3 or 4 different chapters to get feedback from the audience. And they were wonderful. And it gave me a chance to practice on stage exactly what I would be giving in Atlanta.
So Toastmasters gave you the feedback that you needed to get better at your craft. So when you did that paid engagement in Atlanta, and I remember you did that, when you went on the stage, you probably owned that stage and you owned that audience and you owned that speech.
And it was wonderful, truly wonderful.
Now
And
okay.
I was thinking of my coach at the time, Craig Valentine, 1999 world champion in Toastmasters. He gave me a lot of help. And I'm very thankful for him. And I remember our parting words. He said, Yvonne, you are ready. And when I got there and a limousine picked me up, I thought, I am ready and I will ride this limo and feel great.
You have arrived, huh? Speaking of Craig Valentine, he is a gentleman whose mantra is don't get ready, stay ready. I remember he shared that a long time ago and I never forgot that. And I have held that true to the way I carry my life, and I know you have as well.
And that's why I have switched all my presentations to virtual.
Mm-hmm.
And I've switched my coaching, everything to virtual.
Well, you know what, Yvonne, for our listening audience that doesn't know, I used to do live interviews with people face to face in studios and their offices. However, everything in this world now is converting over to a virtual platform. So why not take advantage of that while it's here? Because it may not be here forever. There's going to be components of it, but all aspects of life are not always going to be virtual. So thank you very much, Yvonne, for being here. And let me ask you this, 2 more questions for you. And this is to spotlight you. Are there any special events, engagements, books, or any other projects you're working on right now?
Right now, I am working on a book on divorce. And I have practiced one of the speeches for it at Toastmasters. And I've amplified it so that it is now one of the chapters in that new book.
So that practice that you have of doing speeches and converting it over to a book chapter continues.
It will continue.
Wow.
Absolutely.
For all of our listeners out there, if you don't know what Toastmasters is, Yvonne is a guest, is a member of Toastmasters. I'm a guest, I am a member of Toastmasters, and Toastmasters is 258,000 strong in 143 different countries. If you are looking for your voice, I'm not here to promote Toastmasters. However, I love the organization. I believe that Yvonne and I both believe that everyone could use what they have to offer. Even if you're used to giving speeches and you think you're good at it, you really don't know until you get evaluated from those people that you typically do not know. And they're going to look at you simply to help you out and take your game to the next level. So we would encourage all of you to just check it out. Go to Toastmasters.org and find the club nearest you. You're under no obligation to join. Go there, see what it's all about. And Yvonne can attest. I remember when Yvonne first came to Toastmasters, she was confident, but not as confident as she is right now. And now she has blown up. Go to her website and go to other places, and as you will see that Yvonne has taken her entrepreneurial skills and her speaking and coaching and book writing skills to the next level, to the point where
I want to say that.
Yvonne, and our last question for you is, how can our listeners get in contact with you for more information?
They can go to YvonneOrtega.com. And if they want to hear more about the course that I start on Tuesday, August the 4th, YvonneOrtega.com.
Yvonne, raise it up just a little higher.
writing
Nice.
/ And I'm offering a pandemic special right now. The group is only for women this time around. And it's only $10.
Hmm.
They pay with PayPal
Okay.
and they come.
You want to say that one more time?
YvonneOrtega.com /writing / All the information is there under writing a memoir in crises, which is what we're in right now. We are in crises.
Yes.
And then the full title is Writing a Memoir in Crises. What you've learned so far and want to pass on.
Wow.
And on the writing page, it will show you it'll say register here. Click on the word here, and it takes you right where you need to be. The description of the course is there. We will meet on Tuesday nights at 7:30 until 8:30. There'll be handouts, there'll be free resources. It is geared to help people get out what they are learning. We're all learning something.
And Yvonne, this is all virtual too, correct?
All virtual.
Which means there are no borders. So it's not just in your town where you happen to live. It can be anywhere.
Right. And the women who've signed up already are all from different states.
Wow, fantastic. That is a big deal. Ladies, you heard that from Yvonne Ortega. She is inviting you to take a piece of her, take her mind and learn as much as you can. And I will tell you, this woman is on fire. You will learn so much. And the way that she does it, the way that she speaks and connects with you as a person is second to none. Yvonne, thank you so much for being here today. We know you have a busy schedule. Thank you for taking a half hour out of your busy day to be with us today. We solely ex- are appreciative of you and taking the time out. You want to say
Thank
something?
you. And I wanted to say one more thing.
Go.
I have this class on self-editing. I've done it live many, many times, but I have it set up for online with all the PowerPoint slides. It is ready. That will be the next class, and that one will be co-ed.
Fantastic, Yvonne. And let us keep us informed. We'll put it out there for you. We'll help you advertise it, promote it, and whatever else you need from us. Again, we go live with this every day at 11 o'clock in the morning. So let us know. I'll put it out there. This is my show. I can say whatever I want to out here. So if you've got something you want to put out there, let us know. Again, thank you so much, Yvonne Ortega, for being our guest today. And listeners, again, my name is Charles Gates. This is locallegislator.net. And you're looking at this live on our Facebook page, Local Legislator Facebook page. And the mission of our organization is to be the premier source of elected information in the United States and an advocate for the sustainability of local businesses nationwide. Now, why are we doing this in terms of a business person? Because we want you as the listeners to learn more about what's going on in your own backyard and the opportunities that are out there for all of us to grab. Because a lot of people that we have on here as guests are not going to be the $1 million people. They're going to be the people that you really need to learn from that really know their craft. However, if you are an elected politician, you are an aspiring elected official, you are a business community or nonprofit head, we want to hear from you. Yvonne, thank you very much for being here. Listeners, thank you so much for being here. You can follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook pages. We're all the social media platforms out there. We want to connect with you and we want to hear from you. Again, this is Charles Gates signing off, and we will see you tomorrow as our featured guest will be none other than Elliot Eddy, entrepreneur, inventor, extraordinaire, entrepreneur. The guy does it all. Speaker extraordinaire. You want to check in with us tomorrow to check out Elliot Eddy as he drops knowledge on us all. You don't want to miss it. Again, we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yvonne, you enjoy your day. Listeners, be safe. Be careful, look out for others, and be blessed. Take care.
Thank you.